Have you ever tried something new and failed so badly that you just wanted to hide? Maybe you tried to speak English and felt your mind go blank, or you started a project that didn't go as planned, and now you're afraid to even try again. You tell yourself that you'll wait until you are better, or until you won't make mistakes anymore. But the truth is, many people aren't failing because they are making mistakes. They are failing because they stop as soon as they make one. They think a mistake is a sign to quit, but what if I told you that your mistakes are actually the very foundation your success is built on? Hello everyone, and welcome to Future Self Project. I am so glad you are here today. On this channel, we practice our English through powerful stories that help us become the person we want to be. Today's story is about a young man who thought his failures were the end of his dream, but he learned a lesson that changed everything. So, let's begin. Many years ago, in a village known for its beautiful pottery, lived a young man named Kael. Kael didn't want to just be a potter. He wanted to be the greatest potter the village had ever seen. He watched the master artists create tall, elegant vases that looked like they were made of light. Kael wanted that for himself, but every time he sat at his wheel, something went wrong. His clay would collapse, or the fire in the kiln would be too hot, and his vases would crack into 100 pieces. Every evening, Kael would walk to the edge of the village and throw his broken shards into a deep pit, feeling ashamed. One afternoon, an old master artist who had been watching him asked, "Kael, why do you hide your work?" Kael looked down and said, "I am waiting until I can make something perfect. Right now, I only have a pile of mistakes." The old master laughed softly and said, "You are throwing away the most valuable part of your journey. Come with me." The master led Kael to his own garden. In the center was a path made of beautiful, shimmering colors. As Kael looked closer, he realized the path was made of thousands of broken pottery shards, smoothed down and fitted together like a mosaic. "Every step you take in this garden," the master said, "is supported by the mistakes I made 40 years ago. I didn't become a master because I never failed. I became a master because I kept the pieces of my failures and used them to build a floor to stand on." The master told Kael that most people spend their lives preparing because they are terrified of making a mess, but you cannot learn to handle the clay without getting your hands dirty. Kael went back to his wheel. He still made mistakes, and his vases still cracked, but he no longer threw the pieces away in shame. He kept them. He studied why they broke. And slowly, those broken pieces taught him how to build something stronger. Years later, Kael's pottery became famous, not because it was perfect the first time, but because it had a strength that only comes from someone who has failed 1,000 times and kept going. He realized that greatness never arrives all at once. It begins quietly with the courage to be bad at something until you are finally good. My friend, we often look at successful people and only see the perfect vase. We don't see the years of broken shards they had to walk over to get there. Just like this channel, there was a time when I was worried about my English, my voice, or my editing. If I had waited until I was perfect, this community wouldn't exist today. But I started with zero, and because I was willing to make mistakes, we are now a growing family. So, whatever you are afraid of failing at today, whether it's speaking a new language or starting a new career, don't wait for the perfect day. Take those broken pieces of your mistakes and use them as your foundation. If this story gave you the courage to keep going, then join our family by subscribing to Future Self Project. Together, we will keep self.